There are 1,000 women in Camp Ashraf. Each one represent a mother, a daughter, a sister, a cousin, a friend. But most importantly, for Iran, they are freedom fighters. One of those courageous women is my mother, Sudabeh Mohammed Taher, who is in Camp Ashraf right now, on a hunger strike for the 3rd week. Growing up, I never really understood the depth of the situation my mother had to endure. I always felt like I was alone. I questioned my mother and wondered how and why she could give me up, knowing that I had already lost my father to the brutal regime in the 1988 massacre. I wondered, did she not love me enough? It wasn't until I got older that I realized that I realized that it was because she loved me more than I ever knew. I'm sorry. She let me go because her love is larger than life. She loved all the children in Iran and her country so much that she would give up her only child to fight for it. I want you to take a moment and pause and think about a mother's willpower to give her child for the price of freedom and democracy. It is an impossible act, but the women of Ashraf had made this an unprecedented and admirable act. They have done this so that others do not have to face oppression and misogynist rules of the Iranian regime. They have done this so that no woman in Iran will ever have to face stoning or rape before the night of execution, or fall into the mullah-made network of human trafficking. I understand now, despite all the hardship, I now know I'm truly privileged to say that both my parents are Mujahid al-Haq. As I said earlier, I have already lost one parent to Iran's dictatorship. I cannot and will not lose another, especially my mother. I will not be robbed of getting to know the family, the only family I have left in Ashraf. U.S. is obligated to protect them, but they broke their promise. Now we will save her and Ashraf, and that is my promise.
The world has yet to learn of the cruelty our people have endured. Ashraf Rajavi stated this in 1982. Over 2 decades later, the world has yet to learn of the atrocities committed by this regime. On July 6, 1981, Time magazine wrote in an article entitled, "Terror in the Name of God." The Islamic judge who sentenced them, Ayatollah Muhammad Gilani, did not even know who they were. The 12 girls, the oldest 18, the other under 16, refused to identify themselves in court. When Gilani asked their names, each in turn replied, "Mujahid." To the question, "Child of," each replied, "The people of Iran." Gilani solved the problem of identifying the girls by having them photographed. Then he co-signed them to the firing squad. Islamic guards led the dozen girls to the courtyard of Evin prison in Tehran. The oldest was clad in a flowing black chador, the traditional Muslim veil. The others wore dark headscarves. As the guards began to blindfold them, the girls started chanting, "Death to fascism, death to Khomeini." 20 years later, we are faced with the undying chants of "Down with Khamenei, down with dictators." From Fatemeh Mehsabah, the 13-year-old girl executed by such firing squads, to Nida Agha Sultan, killed by a bullet in the streets of Tehran, the women of Iran have paid for freedom and democracy in their homeland with their blood. We now see their continued struggle and relentless bravery in each and every one of the women in Ashraf. So let us chant with them, "Down with Khamenei, from Ashraf to Tehran."
Down with Khamenei, from Ashraf to Tehran.
Nidas symbolize the recent uprising in Iran. Let us remember Ashraf has been the land of Nidas and thousands more. Let us celebrate the bravery and unprecedented courage and leadership with all women of Iran. Those in Ashraf and those in Iran, we're with you, we're with you.
The women of the Iranian resistance are a truly remarkable group. They have made sacrifices that most could never dream of in their quest for freedom and democracy. It is a well-documented fact that women face far greater risks in times of war and conflict than their male counterparts, as their bodies become used as weapons of war. The 1,000 women of Ashraf stand strongly and defiantly in the face of this real and prevalent danger on a daily basis. Aside from coping with the physical threats, some of these women had to make the excruciatingly painful decision of saying goodbye to their children, whom they had to send abroad during the onset of the First Gulf War. My mother, Azar Ahmadi, was one such woman. She died tragically in a car accident while at Camp Ashraf 16 years ago. I still think about her every day. I know had she been here today, she would have been my best friend. I also know that the decision to send her 2 young children, my brother Hanif and I, to live in the United States was one of the toughest choices of her life. Like many of the other children who were separated from their parents at such a young age, I too wondered how and why my mother could possibly make such a decision. Did she simply not love my brother and I enough? I couldn't understand it. I just felt the tightness in my chest every time I thought of it. I've realized throughout the years that these mothers love their children so truly and so deeply that they are able to extend that love to all of the children of Iran. They want all of Iran's children, not just their own, to experience the joys of freedom, playing side by side in the Maidan Azadi. The women of Ashraf are indeed remarkable. Durud.
During these crucial times where the future of a nation as large as Iran is being changed, there is a color with more color than any other. There is a name greater than all other names, and a sound echoing clearer and stronger than any other tune in every word written or said. It flows like the backdrop of a beautiful and lively picture. It's no other name than Ashraf, the name of a brave Iranian woman which has turned to the symbol of freedom and the 100 years of struggle for liberty in Iran. A phrase as beautiful as Ashraf City, an astonishing painting with thousands of colors, chants, and epic stories, telling the story of a nation awaiting freedom. This bastion of liberty is what has given freedom-loving Iranians the courage to stand tall and say, I am a free human being, standing to bring freedom to my land at a time where the truth is being veiled. These are the words of one of the brave women of Ashraf, the words of Elham Gudarzi. But we are here today to unveil the truth and to resonate the voice of the brave women of Ashraf throughout the world. We are here to say to our brave mothers and brave sisters in Ashraf that we are with you every step of the way. We take pride in your courage and steadfastness, and we gain momentum from the strength in the face of all hardships. Your valor in the face of the brutality of the Iraqi forces has made us stronger in our fight against the misogynist regime. Your chants for freedom are now being echoed in every street and alley in Tehran and all of Iran. And to my sister Asifeh, you called for the youth of Iran to rise because in Ashraf, people like you, people like your brother Hanif, stood in the face of inhumane brutalities of the Iranian regime's puppets in Iraq, with empty hands to defend the century-long struggle of the Iranians for freedom and democracy. Asifeh, you said the youth of Iran cannot and will not be silenced. We are here today to tell you and all of your sisters in Ashraf that we are with you every step of the way, and we will continue this fight to the end.